It's number 69.
Nice.
There you go. Greetings and salutations, my name is Cult and welcome to my sanctuary. To those of you who just found me, I hope you like it here and stick around and subscribe. And to those of you who already support the channel and have subscribed, thanks so much again for all your support, I really appreciate it. Please comment down below if you want to talk about anything in the video, and I love reading all your comments and answering, so please don't be shy. And without further ado, what we're gonna do today is pop finals. We will be looking at the collection that we have accumulated over the last few years, and we are about to pack it up. So most of it will go into storage. So we thought we'd just, go through and show what we have, because a lot of people have quite a few cool ones, and we think we have a few cool ones as well, and they come from very sort of different genres and series and things like that, and it's always very interesting to see what people like and collect. So let's just quickly go through, and I've divided them into several sections. So the first section is cartoons, and mainly it's childhood cartoons, which are the cartoons that I watch that I absolutely adore till this day. So one comes, and I need more of these actually, I'm trying to hunt down a few more. One of them is from the cartoon Gem and the Holograms, which was an amazing cartoon from the 80s, and it was about a kind of a rock sort of pop band, and there was kind of two bands really, the Gem and the Holograms and the Misfits. And the Misfits were the sort of punky, mischievous ones who kept trying to stir trouble, and this is the leader of the Misfits, Pizzazz. I absolutely adore her. She is really cute, and she has the best, craziest makeup in the entire series, and I love that. And Gem was the sort of the nice one who was all in pink and all that, but I loved both of them, and I loved all the songs from the cartoon, and I actually have that on DVD. I bought that as an adult because I absolutely just love it. I've collected everything for a Gem cosplay, so I will be doing that probably before we move, because otherwise I'll have to take all of that stuff with me. So look out for that. It's probably more likely to be on Instagram, but it's just, I adore this cartoon, absolutely adore. And the next cartoon that I just loved and still love is probably not just the one really, but Masters of the Universe series. I loved He-Man, but even more than that, what I loved was She-Ra. She-Ra was like one of my idols, kind of like the Gem cartoons as well. I just loved it. I also bought the series on DVD as an adult because I was just so nostalgic, and that is the She-Ra. And it comes like a little series of different ones as usual. So I got obviously the He-Man from that, and I got the Skeletor. I mean, who does not love Skeletor? If you love Killstar, you will absolutely love Skeletor probably, because they even did a little Skeletor Killstar collection. Not all people liked it, but probably not all people are old enough to remember this series. I just adored it. I didn't get that much stuff from it, but I did have a little backpack, and I'll be doing a series of, different things that I have, and that backpack will definitely be in the Killstar bags, and that's one of my absolute favorite Killstar items. So there's Skeletor, and there's another Skeletor, which is called the Battle Armor Skeletor, which is sort of, again, purple but more shiny. So here they are together. So you can see that one is more shiny and sort of metallic colored. And then of course we have also, this is more of a He-Man than a She-Ra one, Hordak, who is the main baddie in He-Man. And there's one more in the series, Spikor, but I don't know if I've seen him and just didn't like him or something like that, or I just never got him, but I might look around for that so I can complete the series eventually. So that is Masters of the Universe. So I think most of the cartoon series I actually had before we got together with my husband so I think we might have acquired one of the Skeletors later. But now the other part of this collection, which is the movie part, and some movies, some TV series, that was, a lot of that was kind of like some are mine, some are his, and some are combined. So I won't probably go into whose is what, but I mean, you can probably guess that this one is mine because it's Morticia Addams. I mean, who doesn't bloody love Morticia Addams, like seriously? This, I think, is the one from the more recent animated version rather than anything else. As usual, she's just absolutely stunning, and she has that, as you can see, has that sort of dress and everything, and I absolutely love her, so that's Morticia. I don't think I got any other Addams Family, but I do want to collect more of those. Then we have, of course, Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Such a great film. We both love the film, so that I can't remember. I think we might have even got it together. It's just such a really cool one. There's quite a few of those different ones as well, but this was obviously, you know, the coolest one in his lingerie. Absolutely stunning, from, you know, Transylvania, as he says. So that is really cool. If you haven't seen it, like, how? You have to watch it. That's great. So that's that one. Then we have Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course, and she's just such a freaking idol. Technically she's, I guess, a cartoon, but that was a film. Again, if you haven't seen it, check it out, it's amazing. And I think somebody got me this for my birthday. One of my friends got me this when I was complaining that, well, if I looked like Jessica Rabbit, and they actually got me that. So yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous, and you can see all the sort of people on Instagram and YouTube always doing the makeup, and that's something I probably want to attempt at some stage, because I absolutely love ginger hair as well. I'm like a huge fan, so absolutely gorgeous. Then we have, of course, another really cool female character, Maleficent. I'm not sure how I feel about the film, but I think Angelina Jolie is just so stunning looking, and that, you know, it doesn't really matter. The character itself is obviously really, really cool, and I love, like, the whole aesthetic of this. And there's quite a few, I think, versions of this where she's sitting on a throne as well, and I really, really love that. But I think this is definitely the film version rather than any of the cartoon ones, because you can see that that's definitely Angelina Jolie there. But yeah, that's another favorite. Then we have Connor McManus from Boondock Saints. So that was my husband's purchase, and he wants to get the other one because there's two there, two brothers. He really loves the film and probably more of a fan of it than I am. I don't mind the film, but I'm not like a super huge fan, but if we see the other one, we'll definitely get it. So that's our friend Connor. Then we have Silent Bob from, obviously, Jay and Silent Bob. I think this is from the reboot, which I don't think we've actually seen yet, but yeah, these guys are just epic. I mean, Kevin Smith is one of the coolest directors ever. I don't love all of his films, but all of his films, they're very crude, yet somehow they still manage to, in most cases, still be very romantic and sweet at the same time. No idea how he does it. And Jay and Silent Bob are obviously one of the sort of most iconic characters. I love Kevin Smith, so I really like that one. I don't know if we've actually seen the Jay one, but we got this, and yeah, hopefully if we see any other ones, we'll get those. Then we have Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings, I used to be heavily obsessed with it back in the day, and that's probably partially how I ended up in New Zealand in the first place. But yeah, I still love it. I don't watch it probably as much as I used to, and I watched all these additional films of the makings of it, and obviously being in New Zealand, I went on all the tours and checked out all the places. I think I'm missing still a few places, but I went to, you know, Mordor and Rivendell. We live not far from Rivendell, which I think is my most absolute favorite design work on that film is Rivendell, and it's just so stunning. And of course there's like nothing there, it's just a park. Now there's a few markings of where everything was to help kind of get you in the mood, and then you kind of start seeing it. But in general, it's just a park very close by, which is beautiful in itself, but of course, you know, you're missing that beautiful, beautiful castle of Elrond. I just love that film so much, and this one actually glows in the dark. And there's a few other ones, and actually, I'm just looking at them. I don't think I've seen this one, but I would love to have that ball rope. Look at that, how cool is that? That is gorgeous. yeah, well, I absolutely love Lord of the Rings, so that's why we got that one. I don't know why we didn't get any more of other ones. I'm sure there's more. Then of course we have Thor, and that's not probably so much because it's the Avengers, really. It's just because it's Thor. Because my husband is in love with all the Viking stuff, and I really like it as well. And he has lots of sort of Viking themed tattoos and sort of all sorts of stuff like that. So we obviously got that one. So that's Thor. And then we have Loki. Again, partially, this is for the same reason we have Thor. This is probably my favorite character because I think Tom Hiddleston just nails it. I think he just nails it, and this is the first time I've seen Tom Hiddleston. I think it was not even Thor, it was something else. I haven't seen Thor's before. I've seen one of the Avengers films. Look, I'm not a huge fan. Like, let's face it. I watched some of them, but I'm not obsessive over them. I never watched them in the right order or anything like that, and I don't have time. Like we really don't. I like them. They're okay. That's about all I can say. But Tom Hiddleston is just because he's a classically trained British actor. To me, he stood out so much, and obviously he's not a bad-looking man. And I saw him in this, and I just went, oh my god, that guy is amazing, and I watched so many things with him since then, including when he does proper Shakespeare and things like that, and the guy is just next level. So, got that partially for that reason. And that brings us to the end of film, and kind of brings us to the theme of more TV. So, of course, we have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and here she is there. I love her. She is beautiful, and she has the coolest stuff. Like, you watch the film and you have the car, and just she's a style icon, let's face it. Just absolutely love her. Love her. I did get, like, there's a really cool coffin-shaped Elvira palette from Lunatic Cosmetics. I have that. I have like mirrors and stuff like that. I have some Halloween decor. I have both films. So yeah, the second one's good. But hey, with her, it's cool. So I was waiting for those to come out. It didn't come out that long ago. I think there are earlier ones, but they're all sold out or something, and they're really crazily expensive. So if you want one of these, you'll have to like get them on eBay or something like that. But yeah, I adore this. This is so cool. So that brings us to more TV now. So I have a few absolute favorite female characters of all time, and they're usually very sort of kick-ass kind of women, or very strong women that I really like, and I like the way they look, and just in general I'm just a huge fan of a few characters. So one of those characters was She-Ra. Another one was, I guess, Gem and some of the women in those series, because that's, you know, what I grew up with. But when I was probably much older, my other absolute favorite idol of all time was, of course, Xena, Warrior Princess. I absolutely loved her. I watched the whole thing, and I started when I first saw it, I thought it was kind of funny, because even when I started watching that, it wasn't like the first time it was on TV. It was already a bit dated, and I just went, oh my god, what the hell is this? And then I kind of started really watching it, and I started really watching it, I think, because partially I've already seen Lord of the Rings at that point, so it was like way more recent than it was released. And a lot of actors out of Lord of the Rings started on Xena, because of course Xena was done in New Zealand, and a lot of the New Zealand actors went to do Lord of the Rings. Lucy Lawless hasn't done, to be fair, many things since, and some of them were more successful than others, but this one, where she really nailed it was, of course, Xena, and everyone just obviously remembers her from that. And she created the best sort of personality, I think one of the best ones, for me anyway, on TV ever. So I was like a member of the fan club and stuff like that. It was crazy. Like, I was so crazy about this. I love it till this day. I can still watch it, although yeah, it's absolutely dated now, but I love it to death. And she was just so beautiful, and you believe she kicks ass. She's not just some, you know, model that put on some costume. Like, she looked like she could kick your ass. That's what I love about it so much. And yeah, Xena's like one of my favorites of all time. So of course, again, being in New Zealand as well, it was really cool to see some of the sort of very familiar sort of nature kind of thing that you could see on Xena. So that's one of them. My other favorite character from TV is definitely Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, the reboot. Haven't even heard about it. And then we had these, as I call them, geek conventions, or sort of like Comic-Con, but in New Zealand it's not very big, it's called Armageddon. And back in the day, you know, the days before COVID, when people could actually go somewhere, you could actually go and meet some of the actors that they would invite. And of course, you know, this being New Zealand, not many people would venture this far, but some did, especially if they were between jobs at the moment. So I suddenly saw Katie Sackhoff there, and I looked at her and I thought, oh, she looks so cool. Like, she just, I don't know what it was about her, but I thought she was like super cool. And I'm kicking myself till this day that I didn't get a photo with her or something. And she was talking about Battlestar Galactica and that she had this character. The character sounded just so amazing that, of course, after that I went, found the series, watched the entire thing pretty much. I was just crazy obsessed with it. I had, again, some t-shirts from it or something like that, and I always went to all the Armageddons where, again, some of the actors would appear, and just loved listening to all the stories about the series. And that series was just iconic. I followed a lot of the stuff she's done since, and she's always really, really good, and she's always kind of different but the same. I quite like what she does. Like, as an actor, I thought she was quite amazing in this, and generally the characters she does are very appealing to me, like Longmire, and it's always a very sort of complex but very strong kind of personality. And obviously a lot of it is, you know, she does a lot of physical stuff, which to me is very inspiring, because my fitness levels are always never at that level, but it's good to be, you know, inspired by someone for that as well. So that's Starbuck. Then we have another I wouldn't call her a strong woman, but I loved her. My parents actually did not let me watch this show. I was a child in the 80s. I love the 80s. I love everything about the 80s. I love the style, the fashion. I like the perms. I like the shoulder pads. If you judge me for it, that's your problem. I freaking love the whole thing. And of course, I actually wanted to watch the show because I thought she just looked so amazing. And that is, of course, Kelly Bundy. I loved Kelly Bundy. I thought she was just the coolest ever, because I didn't get, you know, that everyone made fun of her or anything like that. She just looked, and this is before I even got into metal and things like that, but there was a lot of what I love about the 80s as well. Heavy metal was mainstream, heavy metal was cool, heavy metal was, you know, the thing at the time, that people wore, you know, leather jackets and went to all these shows of, you know, all the rock stars. And I love hair metal. I'm just a fan. Like, I love the 80s so much, and Kelly Bundy was like a freaking style icon, I guess, at the time as well, and just had these, you know, crazy clothes and hair and all that, and I just loved it, absolutely loved it. And of course I watched the show whenever I could when my parents weren't around. I didn't get why they wouldn't let me watch the show, because I didn't understand any of the adult jokes, and I thought the dog was kind of cool as well, so that's why I watched it. I didn't get anything that was going on. It's just like, what is Kelly wearing, kind of thing, you know. It was really kick-ass. I love the show now, and I love all the horrible jokes and everything. I think it's still like such an iconic show. I watched pretty much most of it very recently, and I think it even went up like to maybe about mid-90s, which kind of killed it. I think it should have like stayed in that time frame. Was like early 90s maybe was the latest. They kind of, yeah, the writing got a bit bad and samey and stuff, but you know, that 80s part of it was just absolutely sensational. I just love that show, Another show that I was sort of obsessed with, and this was already fairly recently, I would say maybe 8 to 9 years ago, I was absolutely obsessed with the new Doctor Who, up to a point, and my obsession escalated, of course, when this character appeared, which is Captain Jack Harkness. And then I got all of Torchwood and watched that, and I couldn't believe there was a spin-off. I fell in love with this character. I think this is one of the most fun, crazy, and entertaining characters on TV. I think the actor John Barrowman just freaking nails it, and he is just so much fun. And I went to an Armageddon with him. We queued for ages to take a picture with him, and he is just absolutely nuts, and he's hilarious and just so crude, but yet so amazing about it, because, you know, he's originally, I think, from Scotland, and they can get away with anything, the Scots, and he's just the most fun character ever. And when we got to meet him, and usually actors are kind of like very stiff and don't want people touching them too much in photos and things like that, because some people get a bit funny, and you know, it's okay to, you know, give someone a handshake or a bit of a hug, but you know, some people probably get a bit creepy with them. But Barman was like, if you want to do anything with me in the pictures, I'm up for anything. And we were looking like, whoa. We didn't even do anything fun because we were just so taken aback and didn't have quite enough time to prepare, but he was just so funny. So funny, and just so like handsome and stuff like that. So absolutely loved the character. I even bought that jacket for something, like in terms of cosplay, never did anything with it. Now the husband wears it occasionally when it's freezing cold. But yeah, I absolutely adore Jack Harkness. So that was TV and film and stuff, but there are other characters that are kind of borderline between various TV series, comics, films, and I have a little stack of here. There's not that many there, but yeah, here's Deadpool, and in this one he's a pirate. Isn't he cute? I love Deadpool. I absolutely loved the films. I think they are so funny and touching at the same time, and I think they've done something pretty sensational with them. They just nailed it with the writing and the improv that happens in it. I think it's just such a cool character, so of course it was a pirate one as well, so we got it. But there's heaps of different ones. I think there's like lots of them on the back. There's like a cowboy one. What else is there? Oh, a bath time one with a ducky. That's so adorable. So yeah, we had to get one of these at least. And we have Cthulhu, which is this. In this case it actually says that it's from a book, so obviously this is Lovecraft sort of style. He looks really cool. I've always loved the imagery of that, and we have a few cushions and things like that from Killstar as well, and then some patterns here and there of Cthulhu. I think he's just adorable. Make fun of my husband's beard when it gets a bit too long, and it kind of reminds me of him. He does this sort of face like, and he looks like kind of a sad Cthulhu, which is quite adorable. So, I mean, some people probably won't find that adorable, but I do. But there you go, there's Cthulhu. And then we have two of the same, which is two little Harley Quinns. And here they are. One is from Batman Arkham Asylum, which, as you can see, I'm quite the gamer. I don't game at all, so I have no idea. I think, yeah, it's from a game, but I just quite liked the outfit, so that's why I got that one. And that one is just a generic Harley Quinn, but she looks really cute because she has pink and hearts and stuff like that. I actually quite like most of them, and I would probably collect more of these because I'm just such a fan. Again, I don't do comics, I don't do gaming. The only thing I ever do is film and TV, maybe, and I don't usually commit to like entire series of things really. But when I saw Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, that was just, I love her. She is so insanely beautiful. It's just indecent. Like, how can you be that beautiful? I don't know. But she absolutely nails it. She's a joy to watch, and I don't know, Birds of Prey, I just loved it so much. I can even like discount a lot of stuff I don't like about it, and there's a few things, but she just, like, she's so fun. This is what I like about actors. There's a few people who are just fun to watch, like, you know, Barrowman is fun to watch, she is fun to watch. Momoa is hilarious. Like, I love Momoa. Momoa can just liven up anything, and he gets these parts where he just doesn't even say much, but he just brings something to the screen. And I'm not like a huge fan of big muscly sort of dudes like that, so I'm not like taken by how handsome he is or anything like that, but he's just funny. Like, he's really funny, and that's what I really like in actors, is when they can sort of bring that sense of humor as well to it, and she just completely nails that part. Love it. So that's why we have these two, which brings us to almost the last section, and that section is music. So of course we have a golden Lemmy. Who doesn't? Everyone should have a golden Lemmy. Look at him. He's adorable. I love Lemmy. I, for the life of me, cannot understand people who can play bass and sing at the same time. I just don't understand. I tried learning to play bass, and I can't even do that, let alone sing at the same time. How can you keep the rhythm going? There are drummers who sing, I don't know, I'm sorry, I just don't get it, that's just insane. But he's great, like I love Lemmy, and I love a hell of a lot of his songs, and Motorhead and all that sort of thing, so, and that's kind of a mutual interest of ours, so we got Lemmy.
Who was better, Lemmy or God?
Trick question, Lemmy is God. Also, if you haven't seen the film Airheads, totally watch it, it's great. Because there's a really cool version of Born to Raise Hell for one, and generally Lemmy is there, and it's just the coolest film if you're like a metalhead. It's just one of the iconic sort of metalhead films, basically. Then of course we have, and I will not apologize for this, like at all, but Axl. I love Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses was the first probably metal band that I was into. Now it's probably not even considered metal, but I don't care. At the time it was a metal band basically. Guns N' Roses now is more probably like bloody classical music or something, but I absolutely loved Guns N' Roses. All of this stuff started coming out in around 87, the best time of MTV ever. If you were born later and missed it, man am I sorry for you. That was just the most amazing period in television history of all time. All the videos, that was just brand new, it was mind-blowing, and the music that's come out is ingrained into my brain forever, and I love most of it. I love most of 80s pop, I love obviously 80s rock and metal and things like that, and Guns N' Roses to me was the band. I loved it to absolute death. I have it, and I still have it on cassettes. My mom got the cassettes, and we have the cassettes somewhere, and then I had CDs, and now I have it on vinyl. I have it on pretty much, I don't even need to listen to it anymore because I just know it so well now, but I still love listening to it, and I was in love with Axl Rose for a very long time, and now unfortunately he kind of aged not very gracefully, but I mean I still love them, and I think, well, recent material is kind of crap, but you know, like they've done so much, and everything from, you know, certain periods of time I can listen to endlessly, and some people like them, some people don't, but I love them. I think they're absolutely iconic, and we need to get, yeah, there's a little Slash and a little Duff. I just love the band so much, so of course we got the little Axl. And lastly, for some reason we didn't get that many musical ones, I don't know why. I think at some point the main issue was we had nowhere to put them anymore, because these were stacked quite high up on a few shelves, and then when we ran out of those shelves we kept seeing all of these musical ones, and we didn't, you know, but by then we've had all of these other ones, and we just had nowhere to put them. Otherwise we wouldn't gotten like probably the whole of Guns N' Roses, the whole of Slayer, 57 different Lemmys, and there's just so many of them, and they're all great. There's probably Hendrixes. I've seen Hendrixes that are like really expensive because they're really rare, but yeah, we wouldn't got more, but it's just nowhere to put them, I think, was the main thing. But we did get this one for some reason, although, I mean, we both like Ghost, but we're not crazy about Ghost. I think it must have been on special or something. I must have got it from Berserk. I think I got that and Silent Bob from Berserk because they were both on special. I actually wanted to get the whole collection of all of the gals from the Craft film, and I really wanted that, but it was just getting a bit much, and again, I didn't know where to put them. But that was my overall dream, to get that from Berserk as well, because they had all of them. And yeah, so there's Papa Emeritus. Which one is it? It's the 4th? So that's that one, but I think they have pretty much every single one of them. It's such a cool band. I really like their sort of style, and I did see them live once. It's quite a show. Can highly recommend it, and they have an interesting sound. It's kind of almost retro, even vintagey, so you don't even know which kind of period it necessarily comes from. It's quite unique and timeless, probably, I would say. So yeah, I quite like that one. Which brings us to the end of pop vinyls. So the main, obviously, object of the video is pop vinyls. However, there are a few other action figures that we had that are somewhat similar, because some of them are in boxes and some of them are just kind of like action figures, so I thought we'd share those as well, just for, you know, the hell of it. So, and some of them are similarly themed. For example, Potato Head Thor. How adorable is this? And if you watch my channel before, I do have some videos where I mention my dear friends from Holland. It's one of my university friends and her family that live there, and they are the most amazing present senders of all time. Like, they're absolutely epic presents, and they knew my husband was into Thor, and they sent us this. I mean, how beautiful is that? That's so cute. It's absolutely the cutest. I mean, the children probably wanted it, but we put it really high up because they lose these parts. They have a few of these. They have a Darth Vader one that again was sent. No, Darth Vader one I got. The guys from Holland sent us one of the yeah, the
BB-8.
BB-8. See, I don't know these things, but yeah, the BB-8, and those are all now mixed up, and we have another Potato Head, so that's all sort of mixed up. But we didn't want to lose all the parts to our friend Thor here, so we kept that safe, so it's on box. And then we have, again, this is a present from Holland, but this one was for me, which is this absolutely adorable little figure of Dobby. And he has the little sock there, and Tom Riddle's diary. I mean, how cute is this? And I've always loved Harry Potter's, and I've read all Harry Potter's, and I've seen all the films. My favorite Harry Potter film, by the way, is 3, which is The Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't know what yours is, so tell me if you like Harry Potter or not, or whatever. Back in the day, it was just the thing. Everyone absolutely loved it. So that's Dobby. And then we have Poison Ivy from this series called DC Comics Bombshells. And I would have got more, but I don't think I've come across any more where I got it from, because I thought it was just stunning. Like, absolutely stunning. There's a few more in the series. There's the Batwoman and Supergirl. So there's these ones, but this beautiful sort of pin-up style, and yeah, I just thought she was really pretty, so I got that one. Then we have, again, this is a continuation of my obsession that I used to have with the new Battlestar Galactica, was Starbuck and Leoben action figures. I can't say they're amazing looking or anything. Like, they're quite weird looking, I would say. I had to get it because of Starbuck, so I got that. Massive box. And then we just have absolutely random things, like this alien one. Absolutely love it. I saw it and I just had to buy it. I'm not even sure what it's made out of. It seems like it's kind of resiny plastic, and it's not very heavy. Alien vinyl bust bank. Ah, is it? Is it a bank? No. It is a bank. I had no idea.
That might explain the hole in the neck I found.
Where's the hole?
It's on the side of the neck. If you've got it facing you, it's on there.
Oh my god. This is the, oh wow. I had no idea that this was actually a money bank. Like, when we were just taking it off, the husband looked at it and said, oh my god, what is that weird hole? So there's a hole there. So that's for coins. And this is the first time I read what it actually is. I just thought it was a figurine. And there's like a hole bit there, so that's where you take it out. Oh my god. I've had this for like 10 years. I had no idea what it was. It looks real cool though. This is probably the coolest looking bank I've seen. How cute is that? Wow. Okay. I love Geiger, by the way, so this is just, yeah, this is pretty stunning. So that's that one. Then I have quite the unique thing from Lord of the Rings. It is Strider, just sitting there with his pipe. It has the autograph of the artist who did the figurine, because again, Lord of the Rings has Weta, and Weta is in New Zealand, and all of it is based in New Zealand basically. You can occasionally go to Weta and get amazing things from them, and they actually have all these beautiful scenery bits that you can get. Like, you have the whole miniature of Rivendell. That's always been my dream. It's very pricey, and again, nowhere to put it, but the work they do there is absolutely stunning. And out of Lord of the Rings, this is my favorite character. Not Aragorn, but Strider. I love Strider because he's a lurking kind of I guess, person who's trying to find a way in life, and I really, really love specifically that part of that sort of character. And obviously that was the first time I saw Viggo Mortensen, and he's like another actor that I really, really love, and he's just amazingly handsome, and I love that character so much. And this is the first thing I saw him in, and I saw him as this as well, but that character is like, Aragorn is sort of cleaned up a little bit and is just not the same and has all this confidence, but Strider is still kind of doubtful about everything, and I can really sort of relate to that, and it's very human, like a very human kind of character, and so I had to get it. And of course, after we finished making this particular video, we packed up all our pop vinyls, and they all fit into 2 boxes. And then we noticed this guy, which was in a completely different place to all of the other ones, because, well, as my husband says, he's meant to be, he's a space wolf. So this is from the Warhammer 40k universe, and this is my husband's, and he's a huge fan of Warhammer. I appreciate the aesthetic and all of that, but I am unable to concentrate enough to do anything. I've tried, I really have. I have an army, sort of. I did glue them together and did some painting, but I have a sit-down job. I can't try and sit down more to do these things, and unfortunately I just can't concentrate enough, but it's really cute. I really like the aesthetic of it. It's all very dark and scary, and you know, it has beautiful sort of details and things like that on the figures, and there's like a bunch of these that are also available from the series. So yeah, there's that one guy that we forgot. We're very sorry. So yes, that's all. That's like a massive pile there. So this is about to mostly go away into storage, not to be seen again for a number of years, but at least we'll have this video. This will tell us what we do or do not have in case we buy any more when we move. Let me know if you collect pop vinyls, and let me know, this is a very important question, do you unbox yours? I've seen people unbox. I can't do it. Some people can, and some people swear by it because more space. I don't know, it's a tricky one. So let me know if you unbox yours or not, which do you collect and which one is your favorite. So yeah, let me, or you know, what sort of stuff do you collect? We collect quite a number of things, but this is, yeah, I guess one of the things that are quite popular at the moment. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, thank you so much to all the subscribers. And if you've just found the channel, I don't actually do a lot of pop culture things, but we'll be going through all the interesting collections that we think we have before we sort of pack them all away or stack them all up somewhere. I hope you're having a pleasant time this day wherever you are, and greetings and salutations to you.